Today on Rappler. Australian Senate censures Senator Janet Rice for protesting against Philippine President Marcos. Philippine airport operator NAIA throws out its bedbug-infested rattan chairs. Cordillera sees an alarming spike in wildfires. More than 100 people are killed while seeking aid in Gaza, raising the death toll to over 30,000. And the assistant director of the film Rust takes the blame for the fatal shooting incident. Australian Senator Janet Rice is censured by the Australian Senate for her protest stunt while Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. was delivering a speech. Before the sanction, Rice stands by her decision to raise a placard bearing the words, "Stop Human Rights Abuses," while Marcos was addressing the plenary.
I did it on behalf of every Filipino person whose human rights have been abused by the government of President Marcos and the government of President Duterte before him.
Her party mate, Senator Jordan Steele John, decries the sanction issued on Rice. Rice says she mounted that small protest to decry the high number of political prisoners in the Philippines and the enforcement of the anti-terror law. Rights groups say there are over 800 political prisoners in the Philippines, 90 of them arrested during the Marcos administration. After passengers report being bitten by bedbugs, the operator of Metro Manila's main airport throws out what was once its pride, the rattan chairs in Terminal 2. Manila International Airport Authority Executive Assistant Chris Bendijo says service providers deemed the rattan chairs to be prone to infestation. The chairs were initially placed at the arrival area to showcase Filipino artisanship for the new and improved look for Terminal 2. NAIA earlier issued a public apology after a passenger's post about the bedbugs went viral. But it's not just about the rattan chairs. In January 2023, a public video also showed bedbugs crawling and peeking out of the holes of the metal chairs at NAIA Terminal 3. Bendijo says the chairs have been pulled out too and will be sprayed with chemical disinfectants. The Cordillera Administrative Region is seeing an alarming surge in fire incidents, mostly wildfires, during the first 2 months of this year. The region's Bureau of Fire Protection says there were 161 fires recorded from January 1 to February 29. These are forest fires, grass fires, structural fires, and other types. As of Friday, March 1, 3 forest fires are ongoing. 2 fires in Tinongdan, Itogon Town, and another in Bocod, Bobok, Bisal, all in Benguet Province. The Philippine Air Force is preparing for cloud seeding operations this week to combat the ongoing forest fires. The Air Force deployed helicopters and released 800 liters of water in some areas of Mount Camisong, but this had minimal impact in extinguishing the fires. Over 50 hectares in Benguet and more than 200 hectares in other areas of the Cordillera region have been affected since January. Gaza health authorities say Thursday, February 29, Israeli forces shot dead more than 100 Palestinians as they waited for an aid delivery. At least 112 people are killed and more than 280 are wounded in the incident near Gaza City. But Israel blames the deaths on crowds that surrounded aid trucks, saying victims were trampled or run over. Medics in Gaza say they cannot cope with a flood of serious injuries. The death toll in nearly 5 months of war already passed 30,000. The loss of civilian lives is the biggest in weeks. Hamas says the incident can jeopardize talks in Qatar aimed at securing a ceasefire and the release of Israeli hostages it is holding. When asked if he thought it would complicate the talks, U.S. President Joe Biden says, quote, "I know it will." Rust First Assistant Director Dave Halls testifies the movie's armorer was diligent in her work and he was ultimately to blame for the 2021 fatal shooting of the film's cinematographer. Halls was the first Rust crew to praise armorer Hannah Gutierrez during her 2-week involuntary manslaughter trial. Gutierrez had pleaded not guilty. Other former colleagues said she was less professional than other weapons handlers they had worked with. Halls is an industry veteran with credits like The Matrix Reloaded. He says he failed to have Gutierrez show him all the rounds in the reproduction Colt 45 to ensure they were dummies, a standard practice, before the gun went to actor Alec Baldwin. Wiping away tears, Hall says, "I let a safety check pass." Halls also defends actor Alec Baldwin, also charged with involuntary manslaughter, saying the actor did not endanger safety by rushing production. And that's today's wrap. I'm Ninal Yu. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.